Welcome to Mining Your Stories, and I am Giselle Michelle. This channel is about modern aging, whether you're 50, 60, 70, or beyond. The channel is about celebrating the journey of aging boldly at every stage. We will explore stories, insights, and tips on how to live fully on your own terms and break free of outdated ideas of what it means to age. Modern aging has a new definition, and we will be writing that definition. Subscribe and join us. How do you age boldly, right? How do you age in a way that is counter to what the typical narrative of aging looks like? Mining is the idea of digging for something precious. You're digging for something rich and worthwhile as the person who's getting that mineral from the earth. Many of us have these different iterations of who we are, and particularly by the time you've hit 50, you've had many ideas of who and what you might want to be. Doesn't necessarily mean that you've wanted to do them for a living. You might have wanted to do them for a hobby or in any other fashion, but for whatever reason, you never explored them. You never pursued them, right? And there is a point at which when you get to 50, 55, 60 and over, if you will, that you start getting uncomfortable with the accumulation of the act of not doing what moves you from the inside. Life and stages, its many events have forced upon you that we have a finite time. And as such, that question of, gosh, right, there has to be more to life than this. The rigors of life, the responsibilities that you have to meet that force you to stay on a course, right? You have to make a living, you have to pay your mortgage, you have to pay your rent, you have to pay your children's schooling, take care of your parents, you name it. So sometimes for all those strictures in life, you're not able to really freely answer the call that you might otherwise want to. But again, as we age, life has a way forcing us to confront those things. How? Well, divorce, children going off to college and leaving us empty nesters, parents dying, or losing friends, losing jobs, you name it. These big life circumstances have a way of hitting us and force us to really reconsider our position in the world, calling us to change our story. And so my hope is that this channel elevates the stories of those people who have answered the call, to hear how they've done it, to hear why they've done it, and by so doing, provide you the inspiration to also listen, hear, and pursue your own course and your own story. This is something I've always wanted to do. Since I was 29 years old, right? The idea of creating a platform in some way, a community that helps to inspire people. When I was younger, I called it my focus was on life purpose. And in a lot of ways, there's still some threads of purpose that will be found in these conversations that follow. But it's not necessarily purpose. It's also about dreams. What have you dreamt of for you? What is the picture that you have as a possibility for your life? What moves your heart? What could possibly move your heart? And how might you be able to pursue it at this point? About 50% of the population, particularly in the Western world, are going to live beyond the age of the late 80s to even the 90s. So if you're 50, 55, even 60, that's a huge chunk of time left in front of you. Even if you're 70, that's a huge chunk of time in front of you. If you're 80, you're not done until you say you're done. I've met far too many people who were in their 80s doing amazing things, and still they may complain that their physical forced them to take longer at a task, right? But they put it aside. It was a rainy day and you had planned on going out there and in the sunshine, and instead it's raining. So what? You make accommodation. You take an umbrella. You put on your raincoat. You put on your rain boots, depending on how hard it's raining. And then you get to it. It is a process, right? You're not done until you're done. There are no expiration dates on your dreams. So yes, I'll be talking and threading in purpose. Sure. But I want you to pursue whatever that next story is. Because I also think that sometimes when we talk about purpose, and maybe even dreams for that matter, it's too big. It intimidates. So let's bring it down to bite size. What's your next story? You've already had a story where, I don't know, you did whatever it is you did for a profession, right? You've had a story where you were a caretaker. You've had a story where you were a parent. You've had a story where you were a husband, a wife, a partner. You've had a story where you were the child of your parent. What's your next story right now? What does that look like for you? Let's find out together. I'll encourage you and you encourage me. What is your next story?